Now to the big political news story of the day. The news that the former Deputy PM and Nationals leader Michael McCormack will also back Barnaby Joyce's private member's bill to repeal net zero. So two former Nats leaders, two former, obviously, Deputy Prime Ministers. And he's also refusing to rule out another tilt at the leadership. He cares that much about the net zero issue. I'm pleased to say the man in question, the member for Riverina, joins me now. Michael, welcome to the program. I mean, you previously were an advocate for net zero. Why the change of heart?
Well, I'll tell you why, Peter. Back in late 2021, when the National Party voted to accept and adopt a net zero policy along with the Liberal Party, we were having trade difficulties with China. We were still in the COVID situation. China had put up barriers. We were trying to diversify our trade interests, therefore going to Europe. Many of those arrangements were conditional on the fact that Australia had to have net zero as a policy, part of its policy suite. And so for the Riverina farmers I represent, I went along with the net zero situation because I wanted to have that trade. But times have changed and the world has moved on, and the situation now I have in my electorate, Peter, and you've got to stick up for those people who send you to Canberra, as you know. The situation is we've got the countryside being littered with wind towers. I mean, we've got a proposal between Bowning and Bynalong, idyllic, peaceful places to put 90, 260 metre tall wind towers. This is just madness, and we've got right across the electorate, indeed right across regional Australia, spivs and shysters coming in, often representing international conglomerates, trying to sign up one person, not signing up the next. They're dividing families, they're ruining friendships that have lasted generations. It's not right, and I won't stand for it.
I love to hear this. I absolutely love to hear this, because my viewers will know I've been banging on about this for about 18 months. And Emma Webb out at Bynalong, a farmer there, I spoke to her this week. I went up to Witchyproof and across into the broader Mallee, and I met with your colleague Anne Webster. She was fantastic, Anne Webster. She was out there fighting for her community. So this should be top of mind for Conservative side of politics. It should be front and centre in the Parliament. And the other thing I said at the top of the show that relates to all of this is it's not just net zero 2050. It's the fact that these 2035 targets, which I'm told you're going to see by the end of the year, the 2035 targets are predicated on net zero 2050, and that's where agriculture is going to be hit really hard. Now, do you think enough Australians who voted back in May understand what's about to come?
Oh, if you asked a lot of them, they wouldn't know what net zero actually even means. But what we're going to see is a situation where it's just going to be impossible to manufacture things in Australia. I heard a lot of interviews by a lot of politicians today, but the one word that they didn't mention, Peter, was affordability. And there are a lot of people in city areas who can't afford their heating bills this winter, and it's a very cold winter. We've got pensioners out there who can't afford to put the heaters on because of this the unaffordable power bills. Now, we had a Prime Minister prior to 2022, when he wanted to become the Prime Minister, talking 97 times about the fact that he was going to reduce the power bills by $275. Not quite sure where that money went, but this is just madness. And Chris Bowen wants to talk about Tinder accounts and carry on like a pork chop in question time today. They're not serious. They're not serious. And oh, it was totally embarrassing. And let me tell you, if I don't have a Tinder account, but if I did, it'd have a lot more interest than Chris Bowen's, quite frankly.
Yeah, I don't want to go there. Please, we'll just leave that one alone. But talk to me about
probably best
comments that came out from people like Twiggy Forrest today. He's leading a coalition of business leaders, mostly of left-leaning companies, I've got to say. It's called Business for 75 campaign. He wants the government to make even steeper cuts to emissions. He wants a 75% cut, and was out there with the Prime Minister in China. He's flogging this horse today. What would you say to that?
Oh, well, look, we've got Twiggy Forrest, we've got Simon Holmes at court. I mean, they're able to pay their power bills, but there's a lot of people who cannot. We've got 29,521 businesses, small businesses, which went to the wall in the first 3 years of the Labor government, Peter. Now, a lot of those, and a quarter of them were construction companies, simply couldn't pay their power bills. They couldn't pay the energy costs. We should be a country, we've got so many resources. We should be absolutely having the cheapest power in the world, and unfortunately we haven't. And we're slugging people, we're slugging farmers, factories. It's just a nonsense. And then we expect to be able to tone down the climate and change the temperatures of the planet, from Canberra, through a policy. No, what we're doing is we're ruining people's lives right across the river and their livelihoods. Bowning, Bynalong, Maxwell, Mangapla, The Rock, Urid, Quinty, Gregadoo. I mean, I could name you so many places, Crookwell, where they want to put in these solar factories, wind turbines, and the local people they're not going to cop it anymore. They're simply not, Peter.
You've been the spine, the National Party's been the spine for the Libs on a couple of big issues. The Voice is obviously clearly one of those. If you don't get movement, if the Nationals decide that you will oppose net zero, but the Libs don't come with you and they try and force you into a position where that's just non-negotiable, what do you do? Do you split the coalition? Do you walk away? Are you happy to have the fight? And if your leader won't come with you, are you going to take on your leader?
I wouldn't like to see that again. And I haven't said that I'm challenging David Littleproud. I'm not. All I've said is that I'm just not going to put a red line through my name forevermore. I mean, that would be stupid because you just never know what might happen. But this is going to be... We've got a process in place and Matt Canavan is going to have a part to say in that. Dan Tehan is as well. We'll see where that takes us. I know Barnaby's got his private members' bill and I support that. I've read it and I'm looking forward to seeing where that happens. But I appreciate that.
I'm not saying you have to have a result next week.
Let's see.
You've got 2035 targets bearing down on you and they're bearing down hard.
Yep. So let's see where the next few weeks and months takes us, Peter, and hopefully there'll be some good movement in this space. I know there are a lot of Liberal Party members who genuinely think that net zero is a crock.
Yep, I agree with that. And I think that they'll be cheering you tonight to find... Finally, there's some sense there's fighting the dog, that you are prepared to do something more than just Me Too Labor in some of these areas. And congratulations to you and to Barnaby for at least putting the debate front and centre for the coalition. Thank you, Michael.